Hey everybody, it's Tammy from Unbreak Your Life. I know I'm on just like a couple seconds early, but I wanted to get on time to make sure that everybody knew I was here. I did promise I was going to be here tonight at 6 p.m. to work on giving you some help to get through the holiday season. Especially when we are in precarious situations from destroyed relationships, especially from carrying around the burden of shame and guilt from those destroyed relationships, even if maybe some of us have been carrying them for a long time, but just are not really dealing with them. So again, this is Tammy from Unbreak Your Life, and today is a special live edition of a kind of a holiday challenge. I guess I'll call it a holiday challenge. I didn't know what I was going to call it, but I wanted to share with you some helps and some tips. And you can see my cat walking by over there. She's going to try to jump up on me probably, like she always does. Always happens when I'm on doing something live or on the phone or with a client or something. She always wants to get on my lap every single time. But anyway, as I go through this live, I'm going to be stopping periodically to make sure that I give everybody an opportunity to ask questions or make comments. If you want, if you need to, then great. Just let me know and I will be happy to answer your questions. But anyway, so I'm in Phoenix, Arizona right now, actually in Sun City West is where I'm at right now, and it's starting to get a little chilly, and I put on a sweater after my workout tonight, and after I taught a yoga class, so that was really wonderful. But it's getting chilly, and I like my sweaters. I'm into boot and sweater season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. This live will be available on my Unbreak Your Life Facebook site as well after I'm done, and you're welcome to comment after that if you'd like. If you have any additional questions or comments, please do. I'd love to hear from you. So this holiday challenge, hi Tiffany, how are you? Good to see you. So today's Facebook challenge is going to be about getting yourself through the holiday season while you're still trying to heal from a breakup. As we enter this holiday season, I know that many of you may be feeling residual pain from a breakup. Maybe it just happened and you feel like you're drowning in an ocean of agony. I know, I remember being there. You may be dreading this season because it will be the first time you're going to have to endure it without your partner. Or you may be secretly holding on to the fact that your partner left you and you really don't want anybody to know about it. We tend to do that. We tend to hide things like that because a lot of our family and friends think that they're just the best person in the world, but you know differently right now. Or maybe you've been divorced from your husband for several years and you haven't really gotten over it. So consequently, every holiday season, you brace yourself for that familiar cycle of angst and depression that's going to seize you. And many of you are immersed in a feeling of sadness, of loss, and just overall being overwhelmed. Well, I know how you feel because I was there, and I remember well the sick feeling of having a pain in my stomach for the whole season. It seemed like started just before Thanksgiving and it lasted up until the weeks after New Year's. So I want to give you an early Christmas gift. Heck, you know what? Give yourself an early Christmas gift, and you've already done that by watching this live video. But this is something I hope is going to help you get through the holidays, feeling a little bit more empowered, so you can hold your head high as you go to those festive gatherings with your family and friends. But there are some actions that you can take to help move you towards self-fulfillment and feel a little bit more happy through this season. But I'm going to outline 3 things that you can do now to prepare yourself for the holidays, and then I'm going to take you through 3 things that you can take with you after the holiday season as well to help stave off that depression and anxiety that you may feel. So These 6 things may not be so obvious to some people, but because of where you are in your pain and your healing process, they're going to be a little bit more meaningful, I think. So, the past and the present and the future. I know that there's the Scrooge movie that comes on that talks about the past, the present, and the future. But your past may be haunting your present, and your future sucks if you stay in the same position, right? We want our futures to be more fulfilling. We work every day towards a more fulfilling future, but there's a multitude of reasons why you are in your present emotional state, but only you can make the decision to try to get past it. So I'm going to outline a few things that you can do now to make yourself feel better during the holiday season. So number 1, I have visual aids, you guys. You're going to love this. Nobody does this anymore, so I thought I would. That old teacher in me is coming out. So ditch expectations. I hope this is coming through right. I don't know if it's backwards, but anyway, ditch all your holiday expectations. You know what this time of year will bring with all those party invites and the family gatherings and all the present buying, right? You also know that even if you were in a good emotional place, balancing all those plates and taking control of your personal health is still going to be a struggle. So, being tugged in every direction and not being fully committed to them is not going to be in your best interest. So, I want you to take some time to prioritize the events that you're going to attend. Prioritize the ones you really, really want to attend. This way, you can actively prepare for them, because if you're not prepared for a situation, you're more likely to fall into anxiety and a depressive state because of it. So you're also going to find that if you do this, that some of the events that you are invited to are going to coincide with each other, which gives you an out. It gives you an opportunity to say no to the ones you really don't want to attend. So take the time to prioritize. Then attend those family gatherings, but give yourself a time limit. So some of those gatherings can go on and on and on, and you already know what you're in for. So if you know the atmosphere is not going to help you move positively through this holiday season, then make sure your host knows that you're only going to be there for a certain amount of time. So say you're going to be there for a specific amount of time, and that's going to help you and help them in the long run. So gifts. Give gifts that matter. If shopping for everyone adds to your anxiety level, God, it does for me. So this is something I did a long time ago. So do something different. Maybe make a large donation to a charity or a specific cause that you believe in, and let your family and friends know that you're going to do this on their behalf. You put their names on it, okay? So this is going to take some of the heat off of you and should make you and your loved ones feel really good. So number 2, another visual aid. Just say no. I know it's so easy to say just say no, but saying no is really powerful. When you say no to some things, you know what you're really doing? You're saying yes to yourself. This may be a really hard thing to do, but this holiday more than ever, you need to focus on you. This aligns with the expectations we talked about earlier, in that you don't want to do things that are going to trigger you negatively. You want to do things that are going to lift you up and move you forward positively. So saying no to people is going to be the hardest, so my suggestion is to practice with a friend that you trust. Let them know that this is an area that you're really struggling with, and work on it together before you have to say no to something that's really big that you really have issues with. Okay, so number 3, visual aid here. Plan ahead. I hope you can read that. It looks backwards to me, but I don't know how you're seeing it. Plan ahead. So you have a good start on how to handle the holiday expectations and are going to work on saying no. So now you can plan your time better for yourself. So plan a pamper yourself time. A day or 2 or 3 during the season. You've got 5.5 weeks to calendar it. So go for it. Get it out there. Plan ahead. Do something that you've always wanted to do during the holiday seasons, but never could because of all the hustle and bustle that you've had to deal with. This is your time. Also, how about giving yourself permission to have a freak out day? Just freak the heck out. Because it's a crazy time of year, and especially in your emotional state, yeah, you're just going to want to freak out. Do it. Give yourself permission. And even, in fact, you know what? You can plan for it. Plan for it. Maybe make it a Saturday afternoon or a Tuesday evening or something like that. Whatever works for you. Say, this is my freak out day. Everybody leave me alone. Okay? My freak out time. Plan ahead. Okay? All right. So those are some things that are somewhat easy, kind of, sort of, but they're easier than the next three I'm going to give you, which you can deal with right now for the holidays. But now let's look into some of those things that are going to help you in the long term. But before we do that, if you have a question or a thought or a comment you'd like me to answer or address right now before we move forward, any of you that are on, let me know. Or if you want to type it in the comments, I'd be happy to address it for you. I don't see any questions, but feel free to ask me as we go along, okay? So number 4, it's going to be a little bit harder. Accept your imperfectness. Yeah, this is a real state of being that we all stand in, but really don't want to acknowledge. We have imperfections, but we don't want to accept them. It's kind of like stepping in poo and walking around with it on your shoe all day and not knowing where that smell is coming from, right? So taking that stink into the holiday season will not bring you joy and cheer or bring it to all those that you meet either. So I know that accepting your imperfectness, I keep saying it wrong, is not as easy as just wiping poo off of your shoe. I know, but here's an exercise that I use with my clients. Start with being consistent with it, and it does work. So I want you to make a list, actually a list of 3 things that you're going to do, and you're going to put them in prominent places all over your house and at work, so you can review them daily until you go, okay, I think I can accept myself as being imperfect but wonderful. So number 1, list, oh, here, I have another one. Strengths. List your strengths as a human being. Number 2, list all the accomplishments that you are proud of. And number 3, list all the talents that you have, even the ones that you tend to keep to yourself, that you hide, that you don't want anybody to know about, that you think nobody knows. Write those down too. Now, all of these things, if you're struggling with trying to find your talents and your accomplishments and your strengths, you know what? You may need some reminding from family and friends. Elicit their help to help you write these things down, because once you see that you're so far from imperfect, then you're going to go, okay, I have these exceptional qualities. So you are so far from imperfect because you are exceptional, and take stock in the value you have to the world, because if you embrace them and focus them throughout the holiday season, it's going to help you move forward. Okay? So here's a hard one. I know this is tough, but you can start working on it now. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Knowing that you're not perfect leads to forgiving yourself. Many of you have used your imperfections to hold on to that anger and that shame and that guilt and the fear from your trauma. Yeah, some of you may be aware of it, but this is keeping you from the joy in your life. You are not the sum of your past mistakes, nor are you the reason for the behavior of the men who betrayed you, no matter how imperfect you think you are, or how imperfect they think you are, or have told you that you are. I know, I hear it from my clients all the time. So give yourself a break and forgive yourself every day if you have to. Yeah, Lori, I know it is the hardest thing to do. In many areas of our lives, it's the hardest thing to do, but we can work on it. And it's something that is very doable. And sometimes it takes a little bit deeper work to do that. But this is something I want you to start thinking about doing. Put some sticky notes all over your house that says, I forgive me. And this is going to remind you of what you think you need to forgive yourself for, and it's going to give you the pause every now and then to go, oh, I am imperfect, but I have strengths and talents, and I have great accomplishments, but some of those things I feel that I am stuck in, I need to forgive myself for. So do that. So it's going to be interesting, because if you have those sticky notes all over your house, when you're feeling unlovable and feeling down and depressed and have a little bit of anxiety, you're going to look up and see that sticky note and go, yeah, you're going to feel better. I forgive myself. So here's the last one. And this one may seem like an easy one, but we don't do this often enough. Invest in you. So I know you can probably see that there's an overall theme here going on, that is to turn your focus on you this holiday season. As I mentioned at the beginning of this conversation, your emotional state is fragile, and this time of year can put you over the edge if you let it. So investing in you can mean different things to different people. So the mark of a good investment, though, is that it pays for itself over time and then far exceeds your initial contribution. So what does that even look like, you ask, right? So think about what you want your life to look like in 5 years. What investment would you make in yourself to get there? For example, let me talk about me for a minute. I wanted to be able to help women who have been betrayed by their spouse, but only had my experience to draw on to help them with it. So what did I do? I wanted to provide the best and highest quality resources for these women. So I invested 2 more years into a master's degree in psychology to make that happen. When I advise women who are still licking their wounds from their betrayal, most of them really want to see themselves happy, healthy, and functioning again in 5 years from now, and can look back with a sense of accomplishment because they worked with someone like me to help them get there. That was what I wanted to do for myself. So you have to decide that you care enough about yourself to invest in who you want your future self to be. Because 5 years is going to go by really fast, and who you are now, I don't think you still want to be. So invest in yourself, okay? So let me go back over them one more time. Let's see. First thing is, ditch all of those holiday expectations. Number 2, say no. Just say no to some of the things that you can. I know it's a little hard to do as well, but say no. Let's see. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. Number 3, accept your imperfectness, right? And write down your strengths, your accomplishments, and your talents, to remind yourself that your imperfectness is not so imperfect. And then you're going to forgive yourself, and then you're going to invest in you. So these are some of the things I really, really wanted to share with you guys, because after working with so many women, I know that this holiday season can be really, really tough. And if you want more help and you want to chat with me a little bit more about how I can help you further through this holiday season and afterwards, I have several programs that I can help you with. But just click on that Book It Now section at the top of my Facebook page. There's a free 45-minute consultation time that I have with you to see if I'm going to be a right fit for you and if I could help you move forward. So anybody have any thoughts or any questions or comments that you'd like to make or anything you'd like to share? I would love to hear it. And thank you. Thanks, Lori. I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you thought that this was good advice. There's a lot more things that we could be doing too, but those are the things that I just thought were going to be the most helpful for you for this season. So I will probably do this again next week sometime. I haven't decided what day and what time yet, but I just kind of impromptu wanted to do this on Wednesday, and I thought, well, let's just try it on Friday, see what happens, and see who joins, and then maybe I can do it again next week sometime. So let me know in the comments if you have any other questions or concerns. But until we speak again, until I see you again, be unbreakable. God bless. Bye-bye.